really interesting.
Hi, Jack.
Dr. Jolly?
Good morning. Good evening to you there.
Yes. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you all?
We're doing very well. So we have a special guest with us, Sebastian.
Hi, Sebastian.
We know you are all very excited. He's a great person. And what I'll do is I'll give Sebastian a little time so he can just give a brief history of his life and hit the highlights. So yours, Sebastian.
Cool. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. So just very quickly, my name is Sebastian. I'm 33. I've had type 1 diabetes for 11 years. So I was diagnosed as a young adult and very, very quickly decided I didn't want diabetes to be a limitation in my life. So I was already climbing. I was already passionate about that. So, I guess 6 years after being diagnosed, I did the Mount Everest climb. That was in 2008. And then decided I wanted to do something new because so much work and time and dedication goes into something like Mount Everest for many years prior. So got into Ironman racing, triathlon, and also got into ultra running. So last year I did a 250 kilometer self-supported run in the Sahara. So an athlete with type 1 diabetes, and so any questions about that or anything, I'm happy to answer. I'll try to be useful.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Jolly here, working as a chief diabetologist of the center. And this hospital has 2,400 beds. I head this hospital also. And we have a special care for children with diabetes. With Jack and others, it has grown in a new dimension this year. We are very proud to associate with this United Pen Pals. Today we have 3 children, and they are type 1 diabetes. These are one among the group from 186 we have totally. Out of that, we have been giving a couple of about nearly 40 children are getting free insulin treatment. That is FIT program, we call FIT program, and it's been supported by the hospital, the pharmaceuticals, and some philanthropists. And shortly we would be taking the genetic studies in these children to see the different phenotypes and all that. Now I'm going to introduce this young boy who's going to be a promising engineer. He's a type 1 diabetes. He recently got to get to know about that he's a diabetic. He's a polytechnic engineering, and he's Suleiman. And he would be going to ask you the question. The second is also in the engineering technical background on the computer science and information technology. He's Umesh. He's also going to talk to you. They have prepared very well and they have gone through with your life story and everything, and they have been very much impressed about to know. They are getting up that, we are talking to a challenging personality. And the young girl we have, Tej. Her name is Tej, and she's also a very motivated girl. And she's also engineering. This time I got all engineering team. So except a medical man and engineering team, and everybody are very, very well. They have come out with their innovative questions for you. After studying your life, everything, they have trickled down to the questions. I go with first this one, Umesh. I will go with Umesh. He's going to start your question. He will ask a question. Jack?
Hi, good evening, Sebastian.
Good morning.
Yeah. Myself Umesh, and I'm working in a private company as a design engineer. And my question is that, who are the people who said that you could not do all you have done, and how did you overcome their objections?
That's a good question. That's good. I think it's not even so much about the diabetes. It was just, I wanted to do things that were big and challenging, and with the diabetes, it was going to be even harder. So sometimes even if people don't say you can't do it, you feel that that's what they think. So I guess what you have to do is believe in the project and in the dream so hard that nothing can stop you. So, and sometimes it's even, it can be a doctor, it can be a friend, and they don't have bad intentions. They're just not too sure if it's possible. So if in your heart you believe, and I think it's even more important to be willing to do whatever it takes to get to your goal. And that's something you have to be very sure and very confident about. And there will be highs and lows. You will have doubts and questioning sometimes, but if you get through that, there's no limit. So it was a self-exploration process as well, all those things. And I've learned so much, so and I'm very thankful for that. So I don't know if it answers the question, but it's because it's a good question and it's a complex question. So, but if you believe in the dream, if you work hard, don't give up, if you're willing to work for years, then good things will happen.
Thank you.
Sebastian and even Dr. Jolly, Sebastian, your answer made me think of one of our central quotes at Pen Pals, which is, it comes from Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the first ladies of the United States, and she says that no one can make you feel inferior without your own consent. So it really all starts within yourself, and I think your life is a testimony to that. So, Dr. Jolly, do we have the next question?
Yeah. We have Mr. Suleiman.
Hello, hi. Myself, Suleiman.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm doing Polytechnic Engineering in Computer Science. So my question is, what is the key message to the people with type 1 diabetes to the globe so that they can lead a quality and meaningful life?
I think the message is very simple, and it's that there's no limit to what a person with diabetes can do. You just have to pick something you're passionate about and take care of yourself, and understand that diabetes doesn't define who you are as a person. It's just something you live with. I'm not a diabetic who's trying to be an athlete. I'm an athlete, and I also have diabetes, and it's extra work, but if I do that work, I can be anything I want and do anything I want. So people have to know that they can live a normal life. They can be great dads, great mothers. They can do, they can go to space if they want to. Anything they want to do, it is possible with diabetes. I hope it's a good
Jolly,
answer.
do you have? Yes. Oh, probably the best so far, I think.
The Sebastian is really good in giving the encouragement to our youngster who can definitely get motivated about his managing his diabetes, taking the example of yours. And we have we had a very great patriotic monk in our place earlier. He had visited the USA in Chicago the first time in September 11. about 110 years ago, he addressed the Chicago Convention, religious convention, Swami Vivekananda. What he said is that strength is life, weakness is death. His sayings are, you can Google Swami Vivekananda. He is a patriotic monk, not like any other religious or something. He always tried to encourage in his name, the National Youth Day is celebrated in India. So if you Google on him, you will come to know the wonderful sayings. They are very crisp, brief, but they are terrific, like what I said just now. Strength is life, weakness is death. You have shown a challenging that a willingness is the strength, and that is the power. So we admire your willingness and power in yourself. So that definitely he will take that message from you, Sebastian. Thank you very much for your encouragement. Now we have Tej, the young girl.
Thank you. Thank you, by the way. Very nice.
Hello. I'm Tejal.
Hi.
I'm doing engineering in information science. And my question is, can you please describe the moment when you reached the summit of Mount Everest?
Yes. It was a very emotional, very beautiful, very hard, physically, moment. Most people that die on Everest die on the way down. So the summit is not the end, it's the half mark, and there's still a lot of work. So the summit is very joyful, emotional, but I guess the real celebration starts when you've made it back to base camp a few days later. And it's a lot of time you spend alone. It's a 2 months long climb. It takes 2 months. So, but I never felt alone. I knew that it would send a strong message. And maybe one of the best stories I've heard, I was speaking to a dad at a conference, and it was a pure stranger. I didn't know him. He was just talking to me, and his daughter had diabetes, and they were following the climb online. And they told me that when someone with diabetes made it to the top of Everest, I was the third person with diabetes to do it. He said his daughter cried because it sent her the message that she could do anything she wanted. So that's exactly for things like that things like that made me very happy. And reaching the top, I knew, that message would be, that it would resonate. So that's what made me most happy throughout the years. It's been 5 years already since the summit, and those stories make me so much happier than the individual accomplishment. Because the individual accomplishment doesn't really mean much. It's just, it's just something a person did. It doesn't matter. There's no value in that. But the message is very, very important.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jack, you have anything to?
And no, Dr. Jolly, do you have anything anything to end with?
The one which our children were also on the way to the summit. When you were moving to the summit, they were wondering how you managed your diabetes also, because they were wondering how you preserved his insulins.
I kept the insulin. Yeah, that's a good question. The insulin I kept close to my body so it didn't freeze. But you're gone for 2 months, so you need to think about storage and transportation of insulin, and also contingency plans. So if your insulin stock freeze, it doesn't matter how much you have, even if you have a ton. If it's all in the same bag, and if that bag is lost or if it freezes, it doesn't matter how much you have. So you have to have supplies in a lot of bags being looked after by a lot of people. So that was a lot of work. And then managing diabetes going up, it was a lot of, it's something that I call going on autopilot. So when you're an athlete, you train your body to go faster and to be stronger and blah, blah, blah. You have to train your diabetes too, so that on the big day, on the big game, when you're competing, so that, you know, you can put your diabetes on autopilot. So on the mountain, I had prepared for 5 years. I had taken notes, I had made experiences, I knew exactly what I needed to eat, I knew exactly how much insulin I needed, and it was not perfect. It was not perfect. So you have to be flexible as well, but you have to train your diabetes like you train for a sport, and then you can go on autopilot. You can get to a point where you know it so well. And again, it was not perfect. Nobody has it perfect, but it worked. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. This is a recently released magazine from, this is in our vernacular language, local language, Madhumeha Vaidya. Madhumeha means diabetes, and we have also kept diabetes doctor. This is, it contains both English, the magazine contains English and for the lay public and for our patients, and it is a private circulation. Last time, the last page contains, can you able to see, Jack, and this one?
No, can you bring it closer to the camera?
Yeah. Still close, go.
Oh, wow, that's us.
Oh, good.
This is last Gary Hall and the team which we had brought it in this one.
Very cool.
A lot of this coverage was given. After that, many children have come to us for getting themselves empowered. This Gary Hall's news was released in the local papers and also the state papers. So many children who are not reaching us now started reaching us. That is a great move. And also now Sebastian's this one also will make the empower or the local children, I mean with diabetes who have not reached us, definitely they will come nearer to us to get the better care and cure, hopefully, in future. The cure maybe I'm just dreaming, it might happen, it should happen during my lifetime. Hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your work. That's fantastic.
Dr. Jolly, if you could forward to me any of the press that Sebastian is, and I'll forward that to you, Sebastian.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I will definitely make
that's wonderful. Yeah, that's anything to spread the awareness. That's the key.
Yeah, I will also send some of the magazines which we have been doing it, that also, which can give insight how the things are happening in the other part of India. So you will get an idea about this one. Recently when Guptas from Washington, they had come, they carried this one. Anyway, Sujata is there in Denver. She'll be moving to Washington shortly after a training program.
Yes.
So
yes, I'm planning. I know she's coming to WashU with Dr. Gupta, and I believe we're going to have lunch. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
So, Dr. Jolly, if you could disconnect the call real quick, that will be greatly appreciated, and then we can move Sebastian to the next site.
From our team,
thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And